All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're going to be looking at something pretty cool. I think a YouTube video from Israel, all in Hebrew, about gender and how characters are represented in anime.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a kind of a unique window into a kind of a global perspective on fandom. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, let's just jump right in.
Sounds good.
So this video, the creator of this video is super upset about a particular character named Miles, who is being dubbed as female in the English version of this anime.
Oh, interesting.
And they feel like it's just completely wrong. And they actually use some pretty colorful language to describe their feelings about it. I was
going to say, I mean, if they're that upset about it, I bet they're not mincing their words.
No, they're not. And so apparently there's this phrase in Hebrew that they use that basically means like, this is completely messed up. Like, I can't believe that they did this. Like, this is just
really
so wrong.
So it's kind of like saying it's misrepresenting the character in a really fundamental way. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to kind of illustrate their point, they bring up these two other characters, Byron and Sue.
Okay.
And they're saying that these characters look way more feminine than Miles does. But in the dub, they're still presented as male.
Interesting.
And so it's like they're trying to understand the logic of the show's universe.
Yeah.
You know, and being like, wait a minute, if those characters are guys, why is Miles suddenly a girl?
Right. If those are the rules that the universe has established, why are they breaking those rules?
Yeah. And this kind of gets into the whole tricky area of localization.
Right.
You know, where it's not just about translating the words.
Yeah.
It's about making choices that are going to resonate with a specific target audience.
Yeah. It's about making sure that the story and the characters land in a way that's going to make sense to the audience.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this situation, is it a case where maybe the dubbing team just completely missed the mark?
Well, it could be, but I think it's probably a lot more complicated than that.
Okay.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
What we consider masculine or feminine can be so different depending on where you grew up.
That's true.
I mean, like, you know, in some cultures, men wearing long hair or flowing clothes wouldn't be seen as feminine at all.
Right.
But in other cultures, those same visuals could be interpreted really differently.
Wow. I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these things can vary so much.
So maybe this YouTuber is looking at Miles through a certain cultural lens that the dubbing team didn't quite fully understand or account for.
Yeah, and you know, it's important to remember, like we said before, that this YouTuber was using some pretty strong language to make their point.
Yeah.
And I think that really reflects like how deeply fans care about this stuff. You know, they're invested. They want to see characters portrayed in a way that feels authentic.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the characters that you love.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the people making the show or the dub or whatever to really understand them.
Right. Absolutely. You want them to do them justice. You know, you don't want them to misrepresent them.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way that feels wrong.
And I'd be pretty upset, too, if a character that I love was totally misrepresented.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how often this actually happens.
I'm sure it happens a lot.
Yeah, it's like a whole can of worms when you start thinking about cultural understanding and how things are represented.
Yeah.
So what's kind of the takeaway?
Well, I think for me, it really just highlights how global fandom is.
Yeah.
You know, you've got people all over the world who are passionate about these characters and stories, and something as seemingly simple as dubbing a character can spark some pretty heated debate.
Yeah.
You know, it really makes you think about how your own background influences how you see things.
Yeah.
What feels authentic to you might feel completely different to someone else on the other side of the world.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
It's something to think about for sure.
Yeah. This has definitely given me a lot to think about. I'm going to be looking at these localization choices in a totally different way now.
Totally. For sure.
Well, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.